Oh, and 2. Good.
Okay.
I don't know if I can spare another 6 or 7 minutes.
Wow! Damn!
Boy!
Damn! Bobby Fischer versus
Bobby Fischer versus Bobby Flay.
All good. Ready to rock? Yeah? Alright guys, Breaking Records Radio here with your host Pat Grimm and my man Joey Dillon on the lens. We are once again joined by Victoria born, Vancouver, Kitsilano residing, and true inspiration of mine, my Battle Axe brothers, Alpha Omega. How are you guys doing?
Brother Grimm, what's up, Pat?
Excellent, my
What up,
man.
brother?
That's what's up, man. And so the road treating you guys well, obviously, on your third installment of the EPs with The Outbreak. And you guys started with The Concept and The Strain. Is the full album still going to be coming out next year, possibly called The Experiment?
Ooh, good memory. That's quite crazy because I honestly forgot about that. We got a couple plans, a couple options we're thinking about pursuing for our next piece of music. One of them may include a trilogy of all 3 EPs with some bonus material and a new look, a new rapper on the whole thing.
That's what's
Possibly, not sure yet. The next project might be a solo project from one of us. Next project might be a full-length album.
Sorry, when he says rapper, he doesn't mean another MC. He means a totally conceptual, different rapping of the actual product.
Yes.
I understand. Yeah,
like
definitely.
Gift wrapping.
Right.
Yeah.
Christmas wrap.
No, and that's really wicked, and that's what I was kind of gonna touch on here. Is one of the questions is I noticed, Neff, that you had also released your EP with J-Do this summer called The Barstool. Now, how did your relationship with him come about? And the skit on the album, is there any truth to that?
About no drinking?
Where J-Do was forced to drink?
No, I was forced to drink.
You were forced to drink, okay.
J-Do doesn't drink, so in order for us to continue to be at the bar, I was forced to drink J-Do's drinks and he would refuse to drink.
Yeah, so
So I got fucked.
damn.
So good for me.
And how did your relationship with J-Do come about?
Very organically. He's a very talented dude. I met him at a showcase in Vancouver at a place called the Hooker's Green.
Okay.
It's no longer there. It's in Yaletown. They used to do hip-hop showcases every month. So the one time I went, it was me and Heat Wave and Northwest Division, Junk.
Dope.
J-Do was there, and there was a couple other local dudes as well. And after the show, I ended up chopping it up with J-Do. Got along right off the bat.
Yeah.
Kept in touch. He ended up hollering at me a couple months later, asked if I wanted to get down on EP. I was more than for it because he's just such a great dude, you know what I mean? It was great chemistry, so.
And yeah, and my favorite record off that is where is it? Is Anything Can Happen.
Word,
I love the beat. I love just the whole concept of it. It was super dope.
that was the last song on the album. It actually wasn't even gonna make it. We had another song in that place, but then we decided that we should probably do some more music, and Anything Can Happen happened.
I'm glad
Which is why we
that
called it Anything Can Happen.
I'm glad that I made the album, man. That was actually it was my favorite. Now for this interview, I had reached out to Paul Lavley, your guys' artist, for the 3 EPs, and he said that you guys originally met through just social media interactions, where you guys had exchanged artwork, and he had liked what you were doing, and you guys were obviously fans of his, and it grew into the 3 covers of your guys' EPs. Now, in the near future, could we possibly see some Alpha Omega full-length comic books on that merch table for us?
Good idea.
I would love to see it.
You have to have it cut now because you came up with the idea, or what?
Hey, I mean, just knowing that you guys are very,
Wow.
Congratulations, that's good. I don't know how we're not doing that.
I something I would love to see as a fan, and knowing that you guys are, very in tune with the superhero, world and stuff like that, it'd be something I think would be dope to see, a little run, 4, 6 comic book series, see 4 to 6, see what happens, but I think it would be really dope.
Thanks.
Word.
We're gonna put that into play just for you.
Prev, do you want to let us know about Neutral Vodka, and how did your relationship with them come about?
Yeah, so Paul Meehan, who's literally one of the greatest creative geniuses on the face of the planet. He's a marketing absolute guru. Got into this company called G&W Distillers, Goodrich and Williams, and they needed an ambassador, spokesperson. So, you know, I love walking around and being able to visit my chef friends and visit my bartender friends and go to soirees and all that kind of stuff. So they thought I might be a nice fit for the company, and just a brand ambassador, someone who, you know, I appreciate that world of spirits and wine and beer and great food. So it seemed to be a natural fit, and they have been amazing to me. It's opened a lot of doors. I hope I've done the same for them, and it's a completely amicable relationship as far as one hand washing the other. So it's been a great experience, and just a cool sort of first round is being a brand ambassador for an actual product, as opposed to an entity. So it's a bit of a different cap to wear, but I've been fortunate enough to be able to wrap my head around it. It's awesome.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked. So for the people, if you're ever at the bar next time, you ask that bartender for neutral vodka, and if they don't have it, you tell them to get a hold of Prevail and Alpha Omega.
Freshest dude in Alberta, so here we go.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Now, Alpha Omega, the name itself, people, you know, most people are aware it's the beginning and the last letter of the Greek alphabet, which they believe in history symbolizes the beginning and the end. It's been mentioned in many religious and ancient civilizations. Are you guys familiar with this?
To an extent, Frev is the one who came up with the name in the first place, so I do know for a fact he knows way more about the history of where that whole thing comes from than I do. But I've been doing a little research since we started the group, obviously, just to do a little catch-up, because people are always schooling me on some stuff, so I've been, you know.
And, well, one of the things that I found that was really interesting is that they mention it in, you know, the Book of Revelations, but all the way even back to 500 BC with Dionysus. They called him the Alpha and the Omega as well. But when I look into it, a lot of these are very, I guess, allegorical, symbolistic representatives of the Egyptian civilization, where, I'm not sure if you're aware, Neff, but there was a story in the Birth of Horus in which Horus tells Thoth that the Virgin Isis will be creating and giving birth, and Neph, the Holy Ghost, is actually the man who gives her the power to give birth to Horus, which I thought was kind of interesting, connecting into the whole Alpha Omega thing. So
the dude's name was Neph?
His name was Neph, the Holy Ghost.
Oh boy. It's my next album name. Shout out my next album.
Neph the Holy Ghost, yeah.
So I thought that was
It'll
cool.
be out this December.
That's really
He's
neat.
almost done
No
it.
idea.
They'll be in time for Christmas.
I thought that was really, really cool.
That's really neat. Straight up.
Now, recently, just past this month, a little while ago, just a couple weeks ago, marked 16 years that Monsters in the Closet had came out.
Wow.
And Prev, one of the lines that I really think define you very well is, we built this foundation brick by brick. Afra and I, keep your eye on this. But that's really, I believe, left your footprint in this music, not only with the success of Swollen and Battle Axe, but as Canadian hip-hop as a whole. I really believe that it is important for younger MCs like myself, and even cats younger than me, that when a guy like you is in the room or in the presence, they keep their ears open and their mouth shut, because you drop a lot of knowledge. Now, in turn, have you picked up any, I guess, new knowledge or anything from the younger generation with this new endeavor with Alpha Omega?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and thank you for saying that. You know, probably sometimes people are like, please stop talking now, Prev. I got it the first time you told me. But, look, in truth, I think there's power in being able to share your stories, but equally, there's power in being able to listen. Otherwise, your stories don't really get carved. It's not always about being able to be the orator. Sometimes it's about being the listener. And adopting those storytelling traditions that have been passed down to us through so many generations of elders and soothsayers. And I think there comes a certain point where you've been telling or weaving your own stories for a certain amount of time. You need an injection of vibrancy, and Neff has really provided that for me. Beyond the family scope of things, I mean, that's always there, you know, the uncle-nephew relationship, but just as an MC and the way he's so intuitive and is really well studied, but is still open enough to his own pathway that he's developing in a very unique and dynamic and quick way. It's really inspired me. So in saying that, yes, from a more youthful aspect, am I always able to hopefully keep my ears open and my eyes open to that stuff? Yes, I hope to always be able to maintain that, but to be able to learn from it, especially coming from someone, you know, it's my nephew, right?
Yeah.
It feels totally awesome and totally genuine. So yeah, I do feed off of that energy as well, and hope to be able to give it back, and hopefully Neff's going to be able to give it back to the next generation, and so on and so forth, and that's just the cycle of life, I think.
And I do agree. I believe that you definitely provide that spark for the younger generation coming up, the guys who are in this same scene. I do believe that. Now, Neff, one thing I want to touch on is on your Black Box EP, Angel Song, you had mentioned you have a line about living in your truck. Now, is this something necessarily that you would like to speak on, maybe your life before writing rhymes? And
100%. Yeah, 100%. I've already rapped about it, so it's out there. You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, before I moved to Vancouver, about 5-6 years ago, I was homeless. I was living in my truck, / at my homies' couches when their parents weren't home, and I was able to sneak in. I was doing that for a couple of years, man. It was not a good time of my life. I was uninspired. Didn't have anything going on to look forward to at that time, I don't think. I was living in Victoria on Vancouver Island, which is an island, and it